Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bizware News. I'm Michael Ward. In worldwide, most countries recognize that equal rights should exist between men and women. Many have produced recognition intended to fight discrimination, and the programs guarding women's access to health, education, and economic rights such as landing ownership. Today, we will discuss gender inequality in China, and let us start with a definition of gender equality.
Gender equality requires equal enjoyment by women and men of socially valued goods, opportunities, resources, and rewards. Gender equality is achieved when women and men enjoy the same rights of opportunities across all sectors of society, including economic participation and decision-making. Gender equality does not mean that men and women become the same, only that access to opportunities and life changes is neither depends on nor constrained by their sex. According to the data from 2014, the population of China is 1.36 billion, which 700 million are men and 667 million are women, which means that 51% of the population is men and 49% of the population is women. Therefore, there are 33 million of men more in China. The concept of 33 million is the total population of Morocco, or 4 times of population in Switzerland. Then, let's move on to the boy-to-girl birth ratio. For every 100 girls born here, there used to be about 105 boys. For China, nearly 120 boys are born for every 100 girls. It is not difficult to find news on the internet about Chinese people abandon their baby girls on the street, or the babies were found in the trash bin.
Many families in China, especially the poor families, think that boys are more valuable because they can work in the farm. They are more powerful. They can earn money to support families. However, girls have fewer advantages compared to boys, as they are less productivity of working in farm. China society has great impacts by the traditional Confucian sorts. Polygyny is the most common and accepted form of polygamy. In ancient time, China allowed the marriage of the man with several women. It illustrates that men have the higher authority than women, and it shows the inequality phenomenon. 3 obediences and 4 virtues were a set of basic moral principles specifically for women in Confucianism. The 3 obediences of women were to obey her father as a doctor, her husband as a wife, her sons in widowhood. The 4 virtues are morality, proper speech, modest manner, and diligent work. Women have to comply with so many regulations, which shows unfair in the society. Foot bending is the custom of applying painfully tight bending to the feet of young girls to modify the shape of the foot. It became popular because its meaning of display the status, as it's always from wealth family. It's a symbol of beauty in that century. It shows women have power, status, as it used to attract men. The following movie will give a short description about foot bending.
There are still some problems, although the society is developing. During the requirement, especially the hospitality industry, Some job positions where special noted the male is preferred, such as restaurant manager and the head chef. And therefore main questions will be asked for female only, especially for over 28 years old female. First is, did you married? If no, when did you planning to get married? And do you have kids? If no, when you're planning to have kids? This is linked to the working time. Get married needs a marriage leave, and pregnant needs a long-term maternity leave. This all will be influence the work. They just want a female who already done all these things, or they will give the female a limited, such as in 8 years cannot be pregnant.
Let's talk about some interesting facts in China. In China, women earn on average 35% less than men for doing similar work. Women's average annual income lags behind men's. Women earn just over 2/3 of men's income in urban areas, and just over half of men's incomes in rural areas. In 2015, women were just 17% of all legislators, senior officials, and managers in China. Moreover, only 18% of firms in China have women as top managers. Women represent 10.7% of boards and 3.2% of CEOs of companies in China. For the education section, there are more women are college educated than before. Representation of women in higher education has steadily increased in the past decade. In 2013, over half of enrolled students in tertiary or post-secondary education were women. Women represented just over half of tertiary graduates in 2013. In 2014, the majority of China's population aged 15 years and older participated in the labor force. There were 78% of men were in the labor force compared to 64% of women. At a time when China is looking for new domestic drivers of growth, advancing gender equality could pay off handsomely. According to the Global Gender Gap Report, one estimate suggests the nation could see a $2.5 trillion increase in gross domestic product by 2020 if it closed the gender gap in education and opportunity. To explain the gender inequality in Chinese society, May-December romance can be used to illustrate the gender inequality in China. In Chinese society, an older male with a younger female is always set as a norm to be a couple. However, an older female with a younger male is always less acceptable or even banned in the society. There were not only females to be discriminated, men were also stereotyped as well. For the job choosing, pilots are always stereotyped to be a male job. However, if there are male working as a flight attendant or a nurse in the hospital, people are all looking at you in a strange way. In a working environment, men are always stereotyped to be powerful and knowledgeable in technology. For example, changing a new bottle for the water dispenser is always a man to do it, even if the man is not strong. And if there are any problems to the computer, men are always asked to fix it even though you did not know anything in computer fixing.
It is important to create an open and friendly atmosphere to address gender discrimination insurance. Therefore, it's critical to involve men and women rather than only women, because gender-based are embedded in culture. It was very difficult to eliminate them without having a hierarchical will and involving men as a part of the solution. I'm Michael Ward, this is Biz Wire News.